Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-101. It's a Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer. I've almost said SPG, but it is a self-propelled gun in sorts. This one's on the North Spawn of Cliff under the command of the Bassman from Hell. Yes, all Soviet tank destroyers were actually regarded as SPGs, and in fact some of them actually did act as SPGs as well, because even though they're listed as tank destroyers, they were also used for artillery on the move. And in fact you often saw lineups of SU-152s all firing in the same direction at the enemy. In fact, if you want proof of that, you only have to look at the film White Tiger, and you can see a whole bunch of tank destroyers all lined up together, all firing into the air as artillery do. Well, the SU-101, it's a experimental tank destroyer that was designed to replace the SU-100. They built it around April and May of 1945. Had a variety of guns, 100mm and a 122mm in the game. In actual fact, it was based on the hull of a T-44 and a T-34-85. The Soviets actually put it through the trials, and it actually worked. They liked it. It passed all the trials, but the war ended before they could actually make a decision about manufacturing it, and in the end they decided not to go ahead, mainly because they didn't want to build any vehicles which were derivatives of tanks that were basically obsolete or about to be stopped production of. And because they were basically not going to produce any T-44s or T-34-85s anymore, although they did sell or get rid of a lot of the T-34-85s to other countries, in the end they decided not to go ahead with the SU-101 and just stay with the ISU-152s and the SU-152s. Nice kill there. That's his first kill. Now, Bassman's using the 122mm gun, and this is a very practical gun because it actually gives you more flexibility than just playing the sniper. It doesn't actually have very good accuracy, but it does have a lot of damage. You can see 440 alpha, 258mm of pen at tier 8. That's very, very good indeed. With hit rounds, it's even better because you can actually get through 340mm. So a lot of pen at tier 8. It also has very good frontal armor, this thing, and it's a rear mounted cabin for the crew. In fact, it's very tough indeed. In fact, the mantlet's incredibly tough. One of the big drawbacks though is it doesn't have very good gun depression. In fact, it's only 3 degrees. Terrible gun depression. And that's because of the engine deck being directly below the gun. One of the reasons why the Soviets did that, you know, had these rear-mounted cabins, was to protect the crew from fire, but it also actually meant that whenever they were driving about, the actual vehicle was directly underneath the gun, because they were building tank destroyers, mostly which had a long gun sticking out the front of the vehicle, and that makes it very difficult to maneuver. But when you've actually got the vehicle directly underneath the gun, so the gun's actually part or just underneath the parameters of the vehicle, then that's a different matter altogether. Because then when turning around corners, you know that so long as the front of the vehicle goes round, the gun is okay and safe as well. Artillery round, ooh, not aimed at us. Now it has plus 12 degrees to the right, but only minus 10 to the left. So you've got 22 degrees of an arc. But you're much better on shooting to the right than you are shooting to the left, and that's helping the Bassman at the moment. Another Arty round, and that one was aimed at us, and it was the M44. He just hit us. Okay, that enemy tank just went down the T-26E4, which means now Bassman can move up on the enemy. He's not bad so far in this game. But okay, we've got some nasty enemy tanks here, so he's going to take them out. Oh, that one missed the Skoda. and he bounced around that came from him, and he's got thick enough armour. It's 115mm at the front, 90 at the sides, 40 at the rear, and there goes the Skoda. It wasn't him who got the kill though in the end. Okay, oh, Arty again, and this time round he did get the kill on the Lorraine 40 ton. Okay, this is where the arc becomes a bit of a problem, because in order to get a shot up towards the centre line, he has to sort of like reverse in, and that exposes his side to the enemy Arty, because they are going to see him. But look at that, the 122mm round, he got a low roll there, and the Tiger's firing back. Okay, he's probably going to attract Arty fire now, but he's going to put another one into the Tiger, and he's out the game. So that was a nice shot, but he was seen. Wait for the Arty round. He hasn't lost that much in the way of hit points so far though, so it's not so much of an inconvenience if he does get hit by Arty. And in fact, actually, Arty's focusing elsewhere at the moment. The score's even, but I don't think that's going to stay the same for very much longer, because he now can see where the enemy Arty is, thanks to his teammate. Oh! Fantastic shot there. He had to lead the target because this shell does have very low or very slow velocity, and that's one of the drawbacks. But look at this, Tiger P perching, and he takes a hit, a big high roll for 446. Tiger P has to pull back, because if he takes another one, he's going to be yeah, he's decided to pull back. Standard reload is 12.08 seconds, and Bassman's managed to get down to 10.23. It's fairly fast, this thing, compared to other tank destroyers. 54 kilometers an hour maximum speed forward, 18 in reverse. It does accelerate nicely. Of course, it has got that T44/T3485 hull, which is reasonably good. So it's designed to replace the SU-100, which was getting a bit long in the tooth. Of course, the SU-100 can also take the 122mm gun in game, and that makes it quite a formidable challenge as well. But of course, these ones can be used as assault tank destroyers because they've got that extra armour. And of course, you're less likely to take crew damage, but you're much more likely to take engine damage if somebody does pen you at the front of the vehicle. Okay, there's only two left on each side now. Tiger P up above. The SU-100 on the enemy team is supposed to be in the sniper's nest. And here comes the Tiger P. He's after our T-29. He gets him, which means now Bassman is the last one alive on his team. And I think he wants that Tiger P. Okay, Tiger P's well aware of the danger he's in. Hello, Mr. Tiger P. Bounced. Nice hit. High roll. He's potentially got the high caliber now. All those massive high caliber hits, they really do work in the end. It doesn't traverse very well, this tank destroyer, I'm afraid. Traversing is not the best part of it. Fast forward, bad on traverse. Okay, he's loading the heat because that's all he's got left. That and HE. Okay, the Tiger P is now one shot, and he's bouncing around from the SU-100. Tiger P's poking. He's not going to try and let Bassman put a round into him. If he knows that if he does, he's going to suffer. And the SU-100's coming up to try and help out. Bassman backed off there. I think the SU-100 is going to show up any second, and he'll probably try and catch him in the crossfire by coming from a different direction. Where is he? There he is. Hello, Mr. SU-100. You're out the game. He made a bit of a mistake there. He should have gone around the far end, and that would have allowed him to catch him in a crossfire. Would have either been facing the Tiger P at one end or the SU-100 at the other. But now it's just a straight battle between Bassman and the Tiger P. And of course, Bassman's got the advantage because he's got masses more hit points. He's pulling back to disengage from the Tiger P, so the Tiger P can't see him. and then he'll be able to try and drive around him, get to another position so he can get a shot in. There's, oh, he poked, and Bassman tried to lock on. I wouldn't say locking on at this moment is the best thing to do, because he'll aim for the center, as you know, and you really want to be. He's got him now. Yeah, he'll out-traverse the Tiger P if he keeps moving forward. And, oh, he managed to get a tracking shot. And there you go. Yeah, I thought it got him. And that is game, set, and match to the Bassman. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the SU-101. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, which is 1/3 of the enemy team and just 1 short of a Top Gun. He also got a shell proof for getting more damage than, blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and also a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. He did get the high caliber in the end because he did the most damage in the game, and he blocked the most damage in the game as well with that very tough front of the vehicle. Yes, it's very solid, and you can see all the dents and marks of all the block shots that actually hit the front and just didn't go through. They were obviously aiming for the wrong spots. Maybe haven't seen the damage graph to show exactly where you need to aim on the SU-101. 8,579 was the win 8, which is quite a high one. Super Unicum. Let's have a look at team score. Top of the table, 3,818 hit points of damage. Next high score was the Lorraine 40 ton, who got taken out by the M44. 2,297 to him. Third highest damage was that SU-100 on the enemy team. He was sitting in the sniper's nest and getting quite a few shots on our team. 1,777 hit points of damage to him. When it came to kills, it was Bassman with 5, 4 kills to the SU-100, and 3 kills go to the Lorraine 40 ton, the T29. And when it came to base XP, Bassman got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,304 to the Bassman, 897 to the T29, 888 went to the VK3601H. He fired 17 rounds, got 14 direct hits and 12 penetrations, and no splash damage of 3,818 hit points, of which 1,396 were at more than 300 meters. He received 11 hits from the enemy, 2 of them penetrated, only 2, 8 non-penetrations and 2 hits by way of splash from the enemy Arty. 1,600 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5 and did 749 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 60,603 credits from the game, 65,000 from holiday ops, 125,603 for the battle, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 81,313 credits altogether. 1,956 XP times 2 for the first victory took away 3,912 experience points altogether. So the SU-101, it's well, it's different from the other tanks you've seen before, which actually rely on HE to do a lot of damage, or a very high caliber shell, which can be inaccurate. This thing is fairly good. It's not hugely accurate, but it is quite interesting in that 122mm shell will carve through quite a lot of enemy tanks at this tier. So you're not going to have much difficulty penning the enemy, although a lot of players do tend to like the heat rounds. As you see, Bassman did carry some heat rounds, mostly HE, mostly armor piercing, but he did carry some heat rounds, and he needed them on some of the tanks that he was aiming at. But he got a good results, and it didn't cost him a fortune. He made a nice little profit. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.